1. Introduction. My name is Carmel. I work in a small design office. We make websites for companies. It is a quiet job. I often sit at my desk for 8 hours every day. I look at computer screens and write code. The office has white walls and 5 large desks. The work is usually calm, but my feelings are not calm. My heart beats very fast every time I come to work. This is because of Danny. Danny is a coworker who sits near me. He is only 2 desks away. He is the most popular person in the whole office. Danny is very handsome. He has dark, nice hair and kind eyes. His smile is warm and his laugh is loud. When he speaks, everyone stops to listen to him. He makes the office feel brighter, even when the weather outside is gray. All the women in the office like Danny very much. They try hard to get his attention. They bring him coffee from the shop downstairs every morning. They ask him questions about his weekend plans. They stand next to his desk and try to talk to him about their lives. This happens many times every hour. Their desks are often busy with people trying to speak with Danny. But I am different. I am very shy. I do not talk much to anyone. I just watch Danny from my computer screen. I watch him laugh with the other women. I watch him drink the coffee they bring him. I have liked him since my very first day here. I think he is perfect, like a movie star. I wish I could talk to him, but I cannot find the words. I am too nervous to speak. The other women are very confident and loud. They are not afraid to talk to a handsome man. Next to them, I feel like a shadow. I feel like I am invisible. Danny looks at the other people, but he never looks at me. We work in the same small room, but he acts like I am not here. I am just the quiet girl who writes code in the corner. This feeling of being unseen makes me sad, but I cannot change my shy nature. I keep my feelings secret and continue to watch him from far away. 2. The big project. It was a Tuesday morning. The boss called us all together. He looked serious. He said, "We have a very big project. It is a new website. The client needs it fast." He told us the deadline was impossible. We had only 2 days to finish everything. This meant long hours and working late. Everyone looked worried. The website design was complicated. It needed new coding and many pages. The pressure in the office was high. The boss looked at Danny and me. He smiled. "Danny and Carmel," he said, "you two will work together on this project. You are the strongest team here." My heart jumped. I felt a nervous excitement. Working with Danny was a dream, but the project was scary. Danny looked at me and gave a small nod. The other coworkers quickly started their own small tasks, but the main goal was now ours. We had a huge responsibility. We needed to design the layout, write the text, and make sure the site worked perfectly. The afternoon passed quickly with intense work. 5 o'clock arrived. This was the time everyone usually left the office. We heard the sounds of chairs pushing back and goodbyes. Soon, the office was silent. The daylight faded outside the large windows. The cleaning staff had not arrived yet, so the building felt empty and quiet. The boss had gone home. We were alone. The atmosphere changed completely. It felt different, not like a busy workplace anymore. The air was still. The office lights were dim now. Only the light from our computer screens shone brightly. Danny stood up from his large desk. He took his chair and rolled it slowly across the carpet toward my small workspace. He stopped right next to me. Our knees were almost touching. This was much closer than we usually sat. When he sat near me during the day, there were always other people around. Now, it was just the two of us, close together in the quiet building. The space felt small and personal. Danny turned his computer screen to face my screen. He looked directly at me. His eyes were kind and focused. "Ready to start the biggest part of the work, Carmel?" he asked. His voice was soft, not loud like it was when he talked to the group. I tried to answer, but for a moment I could not find my voice. I just looked back at him. I took a deep breath. "Yes," I finally managed to say. We opened the project files. We knew we had a very long night ahead of us. 3, talking about life. We worked hard on the new website. We talked about colors, fonts, and computer codes. We worked for 3 long hours. The office was quiet outside our small space. The time passed quickly because we were focused. Danny is a good worker. He explained things clearly. I showed him my ideas for the homepage. We made a strong team. We forgot that we were the only 2 people in the big building. After 3 hours, we stopped looking at the computer screen. We took a short break. The conversation changed. We were tired of talking about the project. We started to talk about our lives. This was strange for me. I usually only talk about work at the office. Danny spoke first. He told me something surprising. He told me he felt lonely. I looked at him. Danny is popular. He is handsome. Everyone likes him. How could he be lonely? He said, "Everyone likes me because I am fun." He explained that people like the idea of him, but he said, "No one really asks how I feel." He felt that his popularity was not real friendship. His words made me feel sad for him. I understood his feeling of being misunderstood. I decided to tell him about my life too. I told him about my deepest dream. I told him I wanted to travel. I told him I wanted to see the big ocean. I have never seen the ocean. I want to feel the sand and hear the waves. I want to feel free like the water. Danny listened carefully. He did not look at the computer. He looked only at me. He looked at my eyes for a very long time. This strong eye contact made my heart beat fast. I felt my face get very hot. I could not look away from him. The air in the room changed. It felt heavy and electric between us. It was not the cold air of an office anymore. It was something new and warm. I realized something important. Danny was not looking at me like I was just a coworker. He was not looking at me like I was invisible. He was looking at me like I was a special person. He was finally seeing Carmel, the real me. This feeling was amazing. He saw me as a person, not just the quiet girl who sits 2 desks away. This was the start of something new. For the bad storm. It was now 10 o'clock at night. We were still working hard on the big website project. The office was quiet, but suddenly the quiet ended. A terrible storm started outside the building. The rain began to hit the large windows very hard. It sounded like many small stones hitting the glass again and again. The wind was strong and it howled around the corners of the office. Then the thunder arrived. It was extremely loud. The whole building seemed to shake from the noise. I looked quickly at Danny, and he looked worried too. We stopped working for a moment to listen to the powerful storm. Suddenly, there was a bright flash of light outside. It lit up the whole room for just 1 second. Immediately after the flash, a huge crack of thunder sounded very close to us. Then, everything went completely dark. The power was out. All the lights went off. The computers turned silent. The entire office space was pitch black. I am very afraid of the dark, and I let out a small scream because I was surprised. "It is okay, Carmel," Danny said immediately in the darkness. His voice was steady and calm. "Do not worry. I am right here with you." I felt his warm hand reach out in the black air and find my hand. His skin was warm and his touch made me feel safe right away. He held my hand tightly between his 2 hands. "I have my phone," he told me. He quickly turned on the small light on his phone. The light was weak, but it made a small, comforting circle around us. We could not work anymore because the computers had no power. "Let us go somewhere more comfortable," Danny suggested quietly. "The break room has a small sofa where we can wait." We walked slowly through the dark office together, using the little phone light to see our way. We moved past the silent desks and the empty kitchen area. We sat down on the small sofa in the break room. We sat very close together. We had to sit close so that the phone light could shine on both of our faces. The large distance that usually separated us at the office was completely gone. Now, we were sitting shoulder to shoulder. The air felt heavy and warm between us. I took a slow, deep breath. I could easily smell Danny's favorite cologne. It was a fresh, deep smell, like wet wood mixed with the clean scent of the heavy rain outside. The thunder continued to roll, but it did not sound so scary now that he was next to me. My heart was beating very fast. It felt very loud inside the quiet, dark room. I knew that this moment was important. We were trapped here, alone, waiting for the bad storm to end. 5. A secret kiss. The storm outside was very loud. We checked our phones again. The news said that the roads were closed completely. The trains were stopped for safety. We realized we could not go home tonight. We were trapped in the dark office until the sun came up. It was late, maybe 11 o'clock, and we had no choice but to stay. The office was quiet except for the heavy rain hitting the windows hard. Danny went to the small storage room near the kitchen. He found an emergency kit. Inside the kit was a thick, gray blanket. We sat back down on the small sofa in the break room. We shared the blanket immediately. The air was cold because the heat was off without power. Sharing the blanket made us sit very close, shoulder to shoulder. This situation felt very strange. We were alone, just the two of us, in the big, silent building. This felt like a dangerous secret. It felt scandalous, like a scene from a movie we should not be watching. But the cold made the closeness necessary. Our legs touched under the heavy fabric. I felt Danny's steady warmth next to me. Danny turned his head slowly. He looked at my face for a long time. He still held his phone, and the screen provided the only light. The dim light made soft shadows move across his features. He did not speak for a long moment. Then he whispered my name very quietly. "Carmel," he said. His voice was softer than the sound of the rain outside. "You are truly very beautiful," he told me. I was completely surprised by his words. I had spent years thinking I was invisible to him. Hearing him say this made my cheeks feel very hot. My heart started beating fast and hard against my ribs. He lifted his hand. It was a large hand, but he moved it with great care. He reached out and touched my cheek gently. His thumb rested softly near my ear. It was only a simple touch, yet it felt like the strongest connection I had ever known. I closed my eyes briefly, wanting to remember every second of this moment. I leaned into his touch just a little bit. The scent of his cologne was strong and comforting. I could hear his breathing next to me. I could not move or speak a single word. The world outside, the storm, the difficult project, everything vanished. There was only this small sofa and Danny. He moved closer to me. His face came near mine in the darkness. I opened my eyes and looked into his eyes. They were dark and kind in the weak light. I waited, holding my breath. Then his lips met mine. It was a very gentle kiss at first. It was slow and deep. It lasted for a long time. It felt like a beautiful dream, not real life in a dark office. It was my first kiss with him. All the hidden feelings I had kept secret for years felt free in that moment. When we finally moved apart, we did not rush to speak. We just looked at each other in silence. The secret was now real. It was a wonderful, secret kiss in the middle of the night. 6, the morning after. The long, gentle kiss changed everything for us. We spent the rest of the night talking softly. We talked about silly things and serious things. We held hands under the warm emergency blanket. We felt close. We felt safe. We fell asleep together on the small sofa in the break room. Danny's arms were around me. It was the best sleep of my life. I felt truly happy and warm. I felt like a person who was finally seen. I was not invisible anymore. But the night did not last forever. Morning came. The sun rose and light started to fill the office through the windows. The heavy storm was gone. Suddenly, the power returned. The lights came on and the computers started to hum. We woke up slowly. We looked at each other and smiled. The dream was still real, but we did not move fast enough. It was still very early, before 8 o'clock. However, some coworkers liked to arrive early. The first coworker came into the break room looking for coffee. She stopped immediately. Her eyes grew wide when she saw us. We were waking up on the small sofa, sharing one blanket. She looked shocked. She left fast, running back to the main office area, but she did not keep our secret. We heard the sudden rise of voices. We heard the sounds of surprise. We knew they were whispering about us. Soon, many people were standing near the break room door. They were looking at us. We were the main topic of conversation before the workday officially started. Their faces showed great shock. Danny sat up quickly. I pulled the blanket higher to cover myself. We both understood the situation. This was a big problem. In our office, dating a coworker was risky. It could cause trouble for both of us. I felt a cold fear in my stomach. The beautiful night was now a scary reality. I worried about my job and Danny's reputation. The whispers felt very loud. I wished the dark night would return. We had a secret, and now everyone knew it. We had to face the consequences of the morning after. 7. Facing the problem. The days after the storm were very difficult. The office was full of whispers. Everyone talked about Danny and me. When I walked past the desks, people looked away quickly. I heard my name many times. The gossip made me feel bad. It made me feel small, just like before. I felt invisible again, but this time it was because of shame. All the women who liked Danny were angry. They looked at me with cold eyes. They thought I took something that belonged to them. I started to worry about Danny. He was very popular. I thought maybe he would ignore me now. Maybe he would distance himself to save his good reputation. Office life was important to him. If he stopped talking to me, the secret night would feel like a big mistake. I was afraid of the consequences. I sat at my desk and looked at my computer screen. I could not work well. I kept thinking about the time we spent together. I remembered the darkness and the thunder. I remembered his hand holding mine. I remembered the honest words he spoke. He told me he felt lonely. He looked at me like I was special. That connection was real. It was not just a game. I thought, why am I afraid? I did nothing wrong. I shared a moment with a kind person. I decided I would not let the fear control me anymore. I did not want to be the shy girl who hid behind her desk. I was Carmel. I was strong. I deserved happiness and love. I decided I must stand up for myself and for the truth of that night. I needed to show everyone that I was not afraid of their judgment. I took a deep breath. My heart beat very fast, like a drum. I stood up slowly. I walked across the office floor toward Danny's desk. It felt like walking a long distance. Everyone stopped working. They watched me. Danny looked up from his work. He looked a little nervous. I stood straight and tall next to his computer. I looked him right in the eye. I needed him to know my feelings. I spoke clearly. I said, "Danny, I am not sorry about that night." 8. A happy ending. Danny stood up quickly from his chair. He looked directly across the office at me. He smiled his big, bright smile. He did not look worried or afraid of the other people. He spoke loudly so that everyone could hear his important words. "I am not sorry either, Carmel," he announced. This moment was powerful and public. He walked quickly around his desk. He came straight to my side. He took my hand and held it tightly. He did this in front of the entire office staff. This action was enough to stop all the bad gossip. People immediately stopped whispering and looking at us. They looked surprised, but Danny did not care about their judgment. He only looked at me, showing everyone that we were a couple. We knew we had one more serious step. We had to face the boss about our new relationship. Dating a coworker was often against company rules. We walked to the boss's large glass office together. It was a very scary walk. We thought we might lose our good jobs. We sat down and told the boss the complete truth. We were honest about the big storm, the long night, and how we truly felt about each other. We explained that our connection was strong and real. The boss listened for a long time. He looked serious. Then he smiled a little bit. He told us we completed the difficult website project very well and met the deadline. He said our work was excellent. He confirmed that we could both keep working at the company. This news brought us great relief. We were happy we still had our jobs, and we were happy we could finally be honest about our love. We started dating officially. It felt strange to be a new couple in the office where everyone knew our secret beginning. Everyone watched us for several weeks. But slowly, the attention stopped. The other women who liked Danny saw that our feelings were serious and lasting. They accepted the truth about us. I learned a very important lesson. I learned that I must be brave to find happiness and love. For many years, I was shy and felt invisible to the world. I was afraid to speak up or show my true feelings. The storm, the dark office, and the night we shared changed me completely. It taught me that my voice was strong. It taught me that I deserved to be seen and loved. Danny is still the popular and handsome man everyone notices, but now He belongs only to me. He often calls me his Carmel. We are still planning our future. We are saving money so we can travel to the ocean soon. We want to see the big, blue waves together, just as I dreamed when we first talked. We still work hard on our projects every day. We still sit close together at our desks. But now, when we work late, it is not a secret. It is simply our happy life. I found love when I chose to be brave instead of scared. This is our happy ending.